I believe I'm guessing it's something to do with the massive number that just comes up. Like, what was it, like 30 people in 30 million? So that's 1 in a million people get it. And now it's like 30 people have died from this vaccine. And it's the same way with flying. It's like you've got people who are terrified of flying because they think it's a massively dangerous thing. But statistically, it's safer to fly than it is to drive a car.
Yeah, I had this conversation, very similar conversation yesterday with Ollie, and it was basically what's safer, riding a motorcycle or driving a car? And the obvious answer is riding a motorcycle is dangerous. That's the conclusion.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the right conclusion. That's the conclusion we came up to. But so the thing was like, well, more people die on motorbikes, say like per like 100, but you have so many more people who drive cars that you are obviously going to get like a higher number. But then statistically speaking, if you were to take that as a percentage, then driving a motorcycle is more dangerous. But yeah, it's the same same line of logic, like, it's the same line of reasoning. A
single massive loss of life that makes you go, oh, this is really dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, because there's millions of other flights going on where nothing happens. It's this one flight that comes up and it's like, oh, boom.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still fly. My love for doing stuff trumps my fear of being in a plane. However, I do hate being in a plane.
What makes flying scary for you?
It's the lack of control. And so my sister, she's the same. It's not that I know the risk is like rationally, I know it is fine. But as soon as I'm in that seat, my life is in the hands of someone else.
Yeah, but that's
the same way that I go for surgery, or I haven't had surgery before, but it's the same way as if you were to have a surgery or loads of things, but this is very much like, and I am that person that as soon as there's a bit of turbulence, I will like hold on to the seat and be like, this plane is going down. Like, I am not good with it.
You know what? I throw my arms up like I'm on a roller coaster.
So takeoff and landing is the word, and I will literally grab like whoever is sitting next to me, assuming I know them, and I will be like, "This is it. This is the end of my life right now." And then as soon as we're like in the air, I'm like, "Okay, it's fine."
Well, obviously the dangerous parts are taking off and landing. Once you're in the air, it's fine, and if there is turbulence, it's not a problem. It's just annoying. So they do try and avoid it. But I mean, even if you're driving a car, your life is technically in someone else's hands. Specifically, the guy who's driving into you because he's an idiot or whatever. You know, the person that crashes into you.
Well, I was going to say,
your life make me not want to drive.
Yeah, like your life is in the hands of. If you're going on the road, your life is in the hands of all the motorists around you.
You don't have control over it in the sense that you don't have control of what other people are doing, but you have control over what you're doing. Whereas when you're in a plane, you do all you are doing is sat there. That's it.
Do you feel the same way on a bus?
Passenger.
Sometimes, but and on trains as well. And sorry, this is going to make me sound really weird, but yeah, I do, because I do have this thing of like, sometimes when I'm sat on a train, and up until I moved to Manchester, I used to live in London, so I would get on the tube quite frequently, really frequently, but I never really got on overground trains. It just wasn't a thing I had to do. But when I started getting overground trains, I was like, this train could so easily just like not be on this track.
Mm.
Like, that's where my brain goes. But then